The time is 6:05 Pacific time. It is Wednesday, February 10th, and I will call the meeting to order. Roll call. President Arano.
Present.
Executive Vice President Valmores is here. Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs here. Vice President of Finance has told me he will be late. Marketing and Promotion Director.
Present.
Personnel Director.
Present.
Outreach Director.
Present.
Elections Director is excused absent. Transfer and Non-Traditional Student Director.
Present.
President Pro Tempore.
Here.
Senator Alcantara.
Here.
Senator Thielhart.
Here.
Senator Bosin will be late. Senator Jackson.
Present.
Senator Ozuna is excused absent. Senator Lopez is unexcused, hopefully late. Senator Christina David is excused late. Senator Frio is excused absent. His class is time. Senator Chan.
Here.
Senator Tatley.
Present.
Senator Vargas.
Here.
Senator Pereira.
Present.
Senator Chow.
Here.
Senator Sungo will be excused late. Senator Trento.
Here.
Thank you. On that note, we have quorum. Moving on to approval of the agenda. The agenda has been sent out beforehand. It's posted outside, public notice. If any of you can't bring the agenda packet of computers, I encourage you to do so now. For members of the public in the galley, the agenda is on the screen. And Madam Secretary, do we have copies of the agenda? And they should be in the corner right up there. If the copies are next to the Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs, anyone in the galley who wants one. Senator Lopez is fully excused from the agenda. Moving on to approval of the agenda. Any motions to approve the agenda or amended as such?
I move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
A second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the agenda will be approved as presented. Moving on to approval of Senate meeting minutes. I believe they're going around. Please sign them after you read them and make sure to get back to the Senate Secretary. As per our custom, moving on to ex officios. Any members of ex officio wish to present to this board at this time?
Everyone, just a quick update on RHA. So this past weekend, we came from the UCSD APRA conference, and that stands for Inter-College Residents Association, so they're equivalent to RHA on their campus. So they had an RHA conference, and we were able to go there and get some more ideas for our programming, as well as network with some of them. Next thing I talked about it in the beginning of the year, but we're affiliated with PACUR, which is a Pacific affiliate of colleges, university residence halls. The conference was held in Washington State University this past year. We're bidding to have it at UCR this coming November. And we're waiting for our bids to be approved, and we'll know that by tomorrow. Then we'll be presenting at our upcoming conference called No Frills at the end of February, and then I'll report back to you all if we get the bid. So if we get the privilege to have the conference here, which would be awesome for UCR to be known a lot more regionally and nationally. And then just a quick reminder about room reservations. If you all would like to collaborate with us, we can fill out a room reservation for you and you wouldn't have to pay it. But in order to do that, you need to fill out an RHA sponsorship request. You can find that on the RHA website, rha.ucr.edu, under resources, and you fill that out, and then I'll be in contact with you to set up a meeting with our cabinet so you all can present to us. And if that is approved, then I go ahead and put that reservation in for you. But if you are to do it on your own, then you'll have to pay the $250 for fund housing.
Appreciate it, thank you. Any questions for the ex officio? I actually have one. When do we know if you get the bid or not? And when would the conference be again? I'm sorry I missed that.
So we'll find out on February 26th to 28th. That's the conference that we'll be going to. It's called No Frills. It's also within our region, PACUR. And myself, as Executive President of RHA, the NRHH President, and our National Communications Coordinator will be going to talk about legislation and whatnot, and to vote on which school gets the privilege of having PACUR held. And it'll be next November, or this coming November.
For the people who are unfamiliar with the structure of RJ and PACUR, would you mind giving us an idea of like who goes to PACUR and I guess some of the scope?
Yeah. So PACUR is association with RHA and NRHH. So typically the president of their RHA, the NRHH representative or president will go, and their national communications coordinator will go. And then we'll have one advisor go, at least one advisor. This year we had two come with us. And then we try to bring delegates as long as our budget can afford it. So this year we took 3 delegates. We actually took Julia. I know she's a first-year fellow. We took her this past year, and we took 2 more delegates, and that's through an application process. And we also go, so that's PACUR, that's our region. And so that's from colleges in Las Vegas, California, Oregon, and Washington. It's a lot of fun. And then we have No Frills, which is all legislation, so not that much fun stuff. But then we have NOCUR, which is the whole nation, and some schools from Hong Kong as well. So it's really good. I would like to compare it to like the USSA.
On national level, that's really cool. Thank you. Any other questions for the ex officio? Seeing none, thank you again. Any other ex officios like to present this time?
Hi, my name is Scarlett from Document Student Programs. Just to recap again, I know you've heard about it every week, but the My Shoes Undocumented Experience starts February 22nd to the 25th. And also we have a photo campaign going on called Unspoken Truths. Basically, it's just to it's to defy stereotypes that happen regarding like immigration or the immigration experience or anything. So it's just you can write down something, a stereotype we're trying to defy. You hold a piece of paper like this and you take a picture of you, and so we're going to post that up during the documented experience. And I have a flyer in case you want to see it and like just some examples if you guys want to. Should I give it to you right now? Okay, and those are for those two, and that's all, really. Anyone can come and be a part of the photo campaign, by the way.
Any questions for the ex officio? Okay, seeing none. Wait, sorry.
Wait, can I get the date again for the video? The date you guys are doing.
Oh, it's the photo campaign, so it starts today and it's gonna go up until the 18th of February. So anytime during that period, come into USP and say that you want to be a part of, you want to take a picture for the campaign we're doing, and just write something, take a picture, and that's it, and you're supporting it. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other last call for ex officios? Seeing none, we move forward in the agenda to public forum. Any members of the public wish to address this board at this time? Seeing no call for public forum? Seeing no call for public forum, we will move on to reports of committee chairpersons. Any committee chairs are here at this time which present to this board. Seeing none, moving on to Senate reports. We'll start with the senator in the really cool jacket.
Okay, so for my report, the committee I sit on, which is ASCC, last week we went through our bystander intervention training, and then we begun talking about some of the issues and concerns with the recent policy changes for the sexual harassment policy changes that did occur. For external committee, we're moving along with our agenda that I did talk about earlier in one of my earlier reports, where I list out everything we have planned this quarter. As well as then for lobby board, which I do also sit on, we did receive training, not last week, but the week before, basically on how to lobby and how our California government process and all that works with
Any questions for the senator? Seeing none. Moving on to Senator Chen.
Hi, okay, so I've recently been placed on the personnel committee and will be working on communications for that committee. In regard to our closet, we're working on ideas for the spring ID run and we'll be taking inventory of it. And I'm also working on revising the our closet bylaws along with Senator Vargas.
Any questions for the senator? Seeing none, moving on to Senator Torrento.
Dwayne from Housing met with the VSUE administration last week, and they said that they wouldn't put a microwave device because it'd be a disturbance to classes and labs if a fire alarm went off. So I'm going to try to contact the physical plant, or EHS, or the UC police to see if I can get a statistic on how many fire alarms are actually set off by microwaves.
So if there's no fire alarms, you can put it in a microwave?
Yeah,
Oh,
but if
okay.
not, or if there are, then
Any questions for the senator? Yes.
So wait, why are necessarily? Isn't there like a Bites bakery there? Don't they like heat stuff up too?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just,
Good question.
Also,
yeah.
Yes.
something that you can bring up when you're talking about that is that there are microwaves inside the hub and like certain things, and there's also somewhere else on campus too, and like that's not really an issue for classrooms, and fire alarms go off all the time because of the labs that are over there anyways. Your argument.
I'll bring that up.
Any other questions for the senator? Moving on to Senator Talley.
Okay, so I have some updates on this, my report this time, and then also my report last time since I wasn't here to give it. So Deji gave the updates on the ASCC report. For our closet, we'll be meeting this next week to go over logistics as well as take inventory of the clothes that were donated. And so we're also in the midst of planning the undie run, so if you have any ideas that you'd like implemented, you're more than welcome to come to any of us, Melissa, Ashley, me, Christina, Verna too. And we're really, really looking forward to that. For the Student Health Advisory Committee, we just met last week, I believe, and we're working on a survey to send out to students soon. So please be on the lookout for that, and please reply to that because student input is very, very much needed. Our next meeting will be next Thursday. And then for the Student Housing Advisory Committee, we finally got a message back from Andy Cooley, and we will be meeting at the end of this week to go over budgets during the RG meeting. Last time, Nevin and I were able to attend the professional, academic, as well as the honor organization clusters. And one thing that came out of that I'm really excited for is some of the honor organizations are trying to meet up and have a big event because a lot of the times the letters and the emails that they send out people think are scams. So we are thinking if they have a kind of like a big info night, then more people will join it, more people will look into that. And then, if you all remember the UCR Vision Planning Group that came at the beginning of the year and also presented to ASUCR, I have contacted them and we will be meeting sometime next week. The date hasn't been set, but this is an invitation to all senators and ECAB if you'd like to come to the meeting. I don't know how long it's going to last, and the purpose of me trying to set it up is I'm trying to focus on more CNAS related things, so if you want to work on something CHAS or BCU related, you're more than welcome to. And hopefully I'll also get them to come and represent to ASUCR because they have I believe they have just finished with their student organization group presentations. So they should have updates on what they're going to do. And then something Michael Urban and I talked about is a campus beautification initiative that has to deal with the trees that no one really likes smelling. So we are looking into that. Yeah, so we were looking into that.
Which tree, Senator?
The ones that are really, really beautiful, but that don't they don't smell very nice. They're by the student store. They're also around campus, but they're very pretty. And we just wish that they smelled a little differently. But yeah, that's the new initiative that we're looking into.
Thank you. Any other questions for the senator? Senator Chen?
So I know that you were scheduled to have a meeting with the Vision Planning Committee like 2 weeks ago. I was wondering how that went.
That didn't happen because they wanted to. So I asked if I could bring more people in to extend it to all of you. They said that was fine, and then they decided that day that they wanted to bring in more people on their end, so their schedules didn't really like match up, so yeah.
Any other questions? Yes.
No, that's not a tree issue. I literally just talked to Corey before this meeting about seeing if legislation would be an appropriate way, so I'd like to be involved on that.
Okay.
Any last questions for the Senator? Saying no? Senator Willis, good report.
Okay, so Senator Boson set up a meeting with Joe Verada and some other people about the religious center, the resolution that he brought up about having a separate religious and prayer center. So when that meeting comes up, I'll keep you all updated with what happens there. Myself and Senator Thielhart will be meeting with the Dean Henya next week, probably. Or we'll be setting up a meeting soon, so for any of the other senators and chats who'd like to be a part of that meeting, let either one of us know. We'll be just meeting up again, catching up, letting her know about what we've been working on, seeing what admin is doing right now. I'll be shuffling around the LRC because we've had problems meeting quorum. So I've been collecting just a lot of the bylaws and the resolutions and things that people have been sending to get passed, and then once we actually do meet, we'll pass those all through. So hopefully next week we'll have a lot of legs to go through. I still need to meet with Jeff Krauser, who's the Government Relations Director. I emailed him, he hadn't gotten back to me about the Improving University Avenue project I mentioned, so repainting the mural and banners with achievements of UCR alumni and current students and faculty research going on. So I'll get in contact with him and try to get that going this quarter. And then, I actually didn't get to make the GCAP meeting today, but something that got brought up at our last meeting was creating a director position for GCAP. So GCAP is the Green Campus Action Plan Committee, for those that don't know. And it's a lot of money just dedicated for different solar projects and not just solar projects, but different sustainability initiatives. There's green grants for students to have their own projects to work on. And it's very difficult to sort of move some of the money in the committee because of it being under one of the executive cabinet members right now. So we're looking to give it its own director position so we can have a little bit more autonomy with allocating that money. And with having just more freedom to be able to pursue projects and things of that nature. So we'll probably be setting up an ad hoc committee with some of the people on GCAP as well as people on LRC and anyone else that wants to help work on that. And that would have to be included in constitutional changes, which is March 11th, I believe. So we'll be working on that in the next coming weeks. And then lastly, unfortunately, the hip hop festival that I was planning is canceled only because I didn't really have much of a response from performers and from people, so I'm still open to doing it. And if any of you know people that might be interested or student groups or student organizations, send them my direction. And if there's another date we can replan for, I'd be down. But as of right now, yeah, I just didn't have the, what I envisioned for it was not the response that I was getting. And I'm going to put on something lackluster, so I decided to cancel it. So yeah, that's it for my report.
Thank you. Any questions for the Senator? Seeing none, moving forward to
What's my name?
Senator Chow. Really?
Before I start, I wanted to do some personnel matters. So I would like to approve the staff under the Executive Vice President's office. So I move to approve, should I do it separately?
Your go.
Okay, I move to approve Zena Block as Executive Assistant and Diana Jecky as the Chief of Staff under the Executive Vice President's office. So.
There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
A second.
They're different positions, you mix their positions.
No.
No.
They're the same. There's a motion on the table. There's a second.
I second.
Yes.
This doesn't need to be a motion, according to our bylaws, if there's no official chief of staff, is there?
Yeah, it should be. Did you say executive assistant for both?
No, Executive Assistant, Chief of Staff.
Both executive assistant.
Oh, both Executive Assistant.
I don't think either of those positions are in, are they?
Only paid, I believe.
Yeah.
So the position. This is the reason that to clarify. So the position is not paid. It can be paid. Still needs to be confirmed.
So, I mean, if you want to make this motion to approve as a Senate, these
Yeah.
two individuals, you can, but you're not required to.
Pretty much the reason why I put it off. If you still do it, it'll make them feel happy.
I just wanted to clarify that that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a motion on the table. There's a second. You can withdraw if you want to. We can do a quick vote.
I feel bad because she's here. Yeah,
Expensive vote.
she's currently here right now, so we'll just
No,
put
no,
it to a quick
why would
vote
you
to make her
put
happy.
You don't need a vote.
Yes, Mr.
No, they're saying,
I can literally just say in 10 seconds.
What
Unless
are
they're-
the procedure? What's happening right now? Is there a promotion?
They want-
Clarify. Bring up order, please. Order, please. There's a motion on the table to approve 2 positions that is debatable whether or not it should be approved because they're not paid. There's a motion on the table. There's a second. The motion has not been withdrawn. Is there any objection to approving these 2 positions? Seeing none. Anything else in the report,
Thank you.
Senator?
Okay, perfect. So, for Student Services Fee Advisory Committee, which is SBAC, we met up last week and we are finishing our subcommittee B, which is Health and Wellness, and we are moving forward with our the Diversity Committee, I guess, which is Coastal Hall. So they'll be coming in reporting about what they would like to request money for, and based on their presentation on how it benefits students, we will be allocating money to them. For Senator internship, we had a meeting last Wednesday at 1 p.m. with my group, and we also met this time as well. Different projects that we have for them is they're going to be writing different resolutions regarding City of Riverside. They're not going into specific yet, but not only that, they're also going to be helping me with the health center and student health in general. For the Health and Wellness Committee, which is currently called the Mental Health Committee, we have Emily, our personnel director, has finished appointing students across the campus to sit on it. We are still looking for 2 senators, so if you are interested, we will be creating sort of an application/interview to see why you want to be in the committee, and we will be sending that out as soon as possible. So if you're interested, please email Emily and CC me. But other than that, I have nothing else to report.
Any questions for the senator? Seeing none, Senator Vargas.
Hi everybody, I hope missions are going well. So for my senator report, for our closet, we've just been organizing. I've been going down there and seeing what we have because I've been going down there to see what we have because we have a whole bunch of like miscellaneous things, so I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to organize it. We have new meeting times, so it's every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if y'all want to stop by, that'd be amazing. And if y'all have any ideas, we would really appreciate them. Just contact me, Berna, Kat, and Christina, and Desiree. And also, I've been working on our closet bylaws with Senator Chan. And for SHAC, we met last week, and UC came to give a presentation. And we're still waiting on different proposals for insurances. And next week, we have a meeting next week, and we will be discussing a potential survey for students. So like Catherine said, if you receive it, please fill it out. It's super important. And we will also be talking about updating the student health website. And yeah, we'll be voting soon on insurances. But other than that, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the senator? Seeing none, Senator Steelheart.
Okay, so last week, last 2 weeks, I finally managed to attend the Food Security Council Committee meetings because I was not able to do it since my schedule had not previously allowed me to. And then I also accidentally attended training session provided by UCSA to hack for canvassing and campaigning on campus, so I've now been educated on that. And in addition, I've been working and sorting through the responses from our finals week survey to sort them in between different colleges, especially because there was concern brought up in last week's meeting about if like CNAS students and BCOA students might actually prefer their finals week during weekend. So I've been sorting through that, and I'm not quite finished yet, but hopefully we'll have it done by next week when me and Corey go and meet with the dean. And once again, want to reiterate what Corey said, which was inviting all the CHASC senators to come meet the dean. It is part of our duties required, so get that out of the way early. Pretty fun meeting. You get to see nice offices. And that's it.
Thank you. Any questions for the senator? Seeing none, Senator Pereira.
So in regard to the new service research portal, I have not made significant progress since my last report. However, I'm still working towards revamping the system. In regards to the hand dryers and the hub restroom, I am currently finalizing the presentation I hope to show GCAP in the near future in order to receive funding for the hand dryers. In terms of committees, the Student Housing Advisory Committee, like Senator Patton said, has set up budgetary meetings, which we hope to be attending, if not one, but both of them. And lastly, I was absent from the Food Security Council meeting due to being out of state. However, I know that we're working on a series of workshops that we hope to present to the general population in the near future. In regards to bylaws, Chapter 43, which deals with the Mental Health Committee, are in the final stages of being revised, and those will soon be submitted to LRC for review and approval. Some of the changes include changing kind of the dynamic. It was originally the Mental Health Committee, Mental Health Committee, and it'll be changed to the Health and Wellness Committee to broaden the spectrum of what it overlooks, basically. And then Chapter 24 of the ASUCR bylaws have been submitted for review to LRC, and these additions will basically focus more on particular cases in that regard, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for the senator? Seeing none, Senator Alcantara.
So I've been working with my Senate interns to basically create a resolution how to get more attendance and participation at athletic events. So basically what we came up with is like we want more marketing in terms of like UCR giving out more marketing for like athletic events. And also like in terms of that, we want like posters at the hub, you know, all social media accounts related with UCR to post about UCR athletic events. So we're creating a resolution and legislation for that. And also we're gonna meet with the SRC, so like when there's a big athletic event such as like a basketball game or a softball game and it's televised, that the SRC actually televises it instead of showing all those channels up on the big screen. So that's what we're working on. Also, I created another resolution in order for nutritional labeling on like hub dining services. So hopefully when LRC can meet, like I can submit both of those pieces of legislation in because they're pretty ready and I'm pretty excited for them. Also, we have decided, me and my interns, that March 1st will be the off-campus living workshop, and we're trying to have it at the Amber Light, but if it's not going to be there, we'll probably just do it here at the hub as well. So yeah, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for the senator? Seeing none, I believe that are all the senators here at this time. Moving on to the agenda to presentation. The LGBT Research Center shall present its progress on the gender inclusive facilities across campus. I believe we have a presenter here. The floor is now yours. We have 15 minutes on the item, which is my mistake. Would you mind introducing yourself?
There's actually two of us. My name is Nancy Jean Tubbs, Director of the LGBT Resource Center. And who are you? I'm Tricia Thrasher. I'm from the Capital Planning Office. And it's not working. I'll sign in when I get it in that works. Thank you for allowing us to be on the agenda tonight. Thank you. Try this again. Yeah, that works. We asked to be on the agenda because we have repeatedly, this academic year and past academic years, had students come to us concerned about the lack of gender-inclusive facilities on campus. These are facilities that may be used by anyone regardless of gender identity or sex. They're important spaces for parents with children, for people with disabilities who have attendants, who are assisting them, but also for transgender people, which is where my center comes in, because we're concerned with the safety of gender nonconforming and trans people on campus, trying to find safe and accessible restrooms, as well as locker rooms and other facilities. So Trisha's up here because Trisha is part of, what's your title again? I'm the environmental planner, but I work in the capital planning office. And so even though this has been an issue for many years, President Napolitano actually came up with a plan. If you go to the next slide, there you go. So you want to talk a little bit about what came out from the president?
President Napolitano issued a letter to the campuses and mandated some actions and timelines for campus implementation of gender inclusive facilities. Basically, the letter said, thou shalt go make gender inclusive facilities. Fortunately, this campus had a little bit of a head start. We had, but there were some deadlines involved. So the first thing was that we needed to buy, this came out just July 1st. By November 1st, the campus needed to do an audit of their facilities. What do we have? How many single occupancy restrooms we might have that would be readily changed out, and that's the audit. We needed to put together a process to implement the changes, and then also a process for requesting hardship waivers. The initial, the conversions will need to be done, which is basically re-signing at this point by March 1st. The other thing that needs to happen by March 1st is we're going to publish those locations on the campus website. No longer will it reside on the LGBT Resource Center website, it will be the main campus. And the way we've chosen to do that, it'll be a layer on the map. So it'll show that, and that's all ready to go. And then any additional directional signage, we'll take a look at things after all those signs go in, and by July 1st, any additional signage.
And we'll be clear when it comes to the restrooms that are being converted, they are all single occupancy restrooms that are currently gendered with men's restroom or women's restroom, even though they're meant for one person to go in, turn around, and lock the door. And so the idea is you re-sign them, anyone can go in. You can go to the next slide. Anyone can go into a gender-inclusive facility and not have to worry about whether their gender identity matches the signage on the door.
We'll show you what the signage will be. That's our last slide. But this was the gender-inclusive facility definition that came out from the Office of the President. The letter has, and if you want to see it, you can find me. I put my name here. It's just the same convention, Trisha.Thrasher at UCR.edu, and I can get it for you. But this is the overall definition. There's 111 on-campus single occupancy restrooms right now that will be re-signed. There's about 20 off campuses. This policy applies to all UC-owned or controlled facilities.
Are you able to talk about the standard for how close the restroom has to be in walking distance?
If you go to the next slide, I can talk a little bit about it. We don't have it here. It isn't defined. So what we've looked at is a 2-minute walk. And we've mapped that, and we have that map, and we'll be working with, it's not possible with these 111 that exist. And we have some of there's what we're calling it a dead zone. It's a dead zone, and it mostly has to do with the age of the facilities. The original campus buildings are all gay restroom facilities, so that's something that we have to look at. If you go to the next slide, you can see this just is a real simplified action plan. It's much more detailed than this. But we've done the survey, we've done the development of the policy, and the processes has been completed. It's currently making its way through the vice chancellors to the chancellor. The permanent signage, we just found out that the sign company, and this is brand new, the sign company isn't going to be able to have the permanent signs done by March 1st. So we are in the process of putting together an interim program so that we can get temporary signs up by March 1st. We will make that deadline, even if we're out there putting up the signs up. And we may be. But we will be having an interim and putting that together as a process. The permanent signage is being bid right now, and then the implementation, it's ready to go. It's just flipping the switch. If you can go to the next one.
And just a couple comments before we talk about signage. I'm really excited that we will be able to go to maps.ucr.edu and find out where these restrooms are, because there are students and staff and faculty who, literally have to build their day around when will they be able to access safe and accessible restrooms. Because they're in a part of campus where it's like a 20-minute walk and they have classes they're teaching or they're attending, or they want to use a library and there's not a restroom readily available in the library they want to use. So this changeover of these 111 restrooms is very important for a lot of people on this campus as well as visitors to campus. The fact that it's on the campus map. And I hope, this is a wish, we'll see if I have wish fulfillment. I hope it will end up on any of the UCR apps that include UCR maps, so that we could use our phone to find the nearest gender-inclusive restroom.
When those apps become available, our GIS person has already said she'll help make that happen. these are the signs that we are going to be using. There's no gender, it's the universal sign. The handicap guy will only be there if it's really handicapped accessible, and that's a whole other process that's happening right now. The bottom sign is something that Nancy Jean alluded to. We will have buildings that don't have gender-inclusive facilities in them, so there will be signage to the nearest facility. This is a process, it's ongoing. Once we get these single occupancy restrooms done, that's not the end of it. The process and the policy that's been put together addresses any new buildings, any renovations. That's why the hardship waiver is in there, and it defines any renovation that's over this amount of money or this amount of square footage. We'll have to do that. I just did a form today for an approval of redoing a lab, and the nearest restrooms will also be redone as part of that renovation, and they're not even in the same building because that's what's needed for both handicapped accessibility and the gender inclusive facility. So it's not over March 1st, it's not over on July 1st. It'll be a process that the campus will be going through continually as we build, as we renovate. And the campus architect is the owner, if you want to, who owns this policy? The campus owns the policy, but the campus architect will be the person that makes sure it gets implemented, and his name is Rob Gale. But you can go through the campus architect's office, you can go through me, you can go, if you have a concern or a question or a place that, needs something that needs to be addressed, or you see one that doesn't get changed, that you think could be changed, just let us know.
And one of the benefits, I know this actually was a top-down directive that, personal opinion here, it needed to happen. It's system-wide. As one of the people who ran around and visited all the restrooms on campus, you get to learn where the dead zones are in some of the really scary buildings that I refused to walk into because they were just like, they're going to fall on me. But anyway,
great student intern who went there.
Yeah, we had a grad student intern and myself, and thank you, grad student intern, for doing that instead of me. I want to emphasize that again, this is not the end, as you said, it's not the end of the process. And I've been invited to attend the meetings involving this plan, and I always get the notes even if I'm not at the meeting. And I'll tell you from my perspective of being in that space that it's not just we have to follow this because we're being told to. They're finding ways to do it in a way that really does meet the needs of our campus. So I really appreciate that, and thank you for, I know it's your job, but thank you. Any questions you have for either of us around the gender inclusive facilities plan or concerns or anything at all? Yes.
Any questions for the?
So I don't have a question, but I just have a quick comment. I just really want to say thank you for presenting to us today. I know that these changes are very necessary, and it's really heartwarming to see that these changes will be implemented and very soon.
Well, thanks for having us. We were trying, how do we get the word out? Let's tell the senators, and hello, Highlander, are you in the room? So, thank you, yeah. And we do want the word to get out because we continue to hear from individuals who are concerned, and we want to let folks know this is a plan, these are the deadlines.
Thank you. Any other questions for the presenters? This is a pretty extensive topic for our community. Are there any members of GALI who would like to question the presenters on this topic? No need to jump spot. I just want to open it up.
Could I make one final thing?
Please, of
Okay.
course.
Not related to gender inclusive facilities. For everyone in this room who's stressing around midterms or having to be in a Senate meeting, we are doing a midterm study break in the second floor of Costa Hall tonight until 8 p.m. Come visit us for chair massages as well as food and dessert. So y'all are all invited. We still had openings when I left to come to this meeting. So LGBTRC, Women's Resource Center, and Asian Pacific Student Programs, come join us, get rid of that stress. All right? Just take care of yourself. You'll feel like a newborn baby when they're done.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else?
We're in Costa Hall real quick.
I know where it is. I got
There
you.
it is?
I got you.
Okay.
Second floor, Costa Hall.
Got it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a really strong week. All right, let's go this real fast so we all have massages to get to. Yes, commentary.
There was a mess up that happened a couple minutes ago. I just checked it right now because I know there was a bit of confusion. Personnel, whether they are paid or they're not, executive assistants do have to get voted on. It's actually in the executive assistants part. I think the confusion happened because it's not in the, they're not on the roster for the stipend portion of it, and I completely understand that's completely my fault. So, but because it is personnel, it has to be closed ballot, even though even though it happened, I think we should retract the motion to approve them. And the next week, we have to confirm them because according to the bylaws, it does have to be prior notice, and the notice, I guess, would be given today. And next week, we would vote on his the executive vice president's executive assistants, and that's basically all I have to say about it.
So then, does it need to be confirmed right now, or can we just vote it next week?
Next week, because prior notice has to be given.
Okay.
Okay, I gladly rescind my retract mine.
Cool. Okay, no, I'll deal with it next week. Next on the agenda is, there's no new business, committee reports. Finance committee was in the agenda package. The VP of Finance, I do not believe will make it. It should be being brought up in a second. Is anyone, Sean and Josh, both senators on the Finance committee?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll have to read it. Would you mind pulling up a copy of the Finance report? Perfect. I'll read out a quick copy of the Finance report, and we'll go from there. The opening balance was $36,014. The hearings, what's the agenda, is this the actual Finance report?
There's no allocated or.
Yeah, I see it. This one he just sent out? Yeah.
One job.
Literally.
No, it's not a job.
One sec. Give me the balances. Yeah. What was it?
Yesterday.
Give me one sec. No, I see it.
Wouldn't it be the same balance from last week? So if we call last week.
It's, both of them are mistakes. The Vice President of Finance sent it to me, and I thought we CC'd the Senate Secretary, and we did not. Yeah. I will read the opening balance and go to the report. I apologize for not putting on the agenda, or the actual one previous. If there's any substitutes, we can always push it back. The opening balance.
Can you just email it out really quickly?
I want to send a copy to. Yeah, I want to CC. I suppose you can just copy and paste and put it in the perfect. We're gonna. There's something else on the agenda. I'm just gonna do something else. We will pull it up right now on the, same Google Doc?
It's up there.
Cool. Is it the one Marcy's on?
It's the one Marcy sent me. They sent me the actual document.
Yes. Yeah, put up the Google Doc. Put it, and you'll put it on the, perfect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
What even is it? Cat's really
Alright, it is up.
Cool. Right now, the Senate Secretary is copying it into the Google Doc on the agenda. The parliamentarian put it up for legalities, and I will read the report thereafter. Opening balance is still $36,014. The Muslim Student Association was allocated $2,848. The Student Alumni Association was allocated $1,275. The Caribbean Student Associate Union was allocated $908. Total org allocation is $2,442. Organization contingency closing balance $33,572. The opening balance of the ACCR contingency was $4,252.50. The total ASUCR allocations was $0 with the same closing balance. Are there any motions or questions on the report?
Move to approve financial report.
President Pro Tempore moves to approve the financial report. Is there a second?
I second.
There's a second by Senator Talley. All in favor? Any opposed? Any objections? Seeing none, report is approved. Moving on to public comment. Any members of the public wish to address this board at this time?
My name is Ikram, and what I wanted to talk about were the light posts. And it's sad that we go to a UC that has a trail called the Rape Trail, and that we're not doing anything about it. That's just really sad.
We should
And
definitely do something about that.
yeah.
Point of clarification. Can I just comment?
Point of clarification, I'll allow it. But,
One of our first year fellows, Julia, is actually working on a project regarding that, and I don't know if you've heard about it. You can check our Senate meeting minutes, but she's working on a legacy path, and I believe that initiative has already started and they're already putting it in. So if you want to contribute to it,
Yeah.
you might want to talk to
Yeah,
Julia.
and also beyond that, can we have a way that people can know what's going on about amongst you guys, so that maybe we can have an Instagram or whatever it is,
Also
or a
a good
website.
idea.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
have an Instagram.
Mark,
I know that we have an Instagram, but can we specify what each person is working on, so that if there are people that are interested, or if there are things that, because I feel like there are a lot of students here, but the student involvement is not as big as it could be, and I feel like we could work on that.
No, your comment is well taken. As a public board, we try and hold ourselves accountable, and we try in every effort to reach out, and it's something we need to work on continuously. We do public reports, which allocate, what you just saw here at this meeting today. Senate reports all talking about individual projects. Every other week, sharing out executive cabinet, they talk about their individual projects and what their offices are doing. We try as well to reach out through social media, public postings, mass emails. But again, it is something that our comment is well taken. Senator Wynn-Chow?
I just wanted to comment about the legacy path, but also you can always come to our office hours. Our office hours are posted on the ASUCR website. I don't know if our projects are, but if not, it'd be great if you did post our projects on the ASUCR website, which you can be able to see. Not only that, we have minutes on there. Feel free to go look at the minutes, see what projects you're interested in that the senators are working on, and come find us during office hours, and we'd love to work with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This board has always welcomed new student involvement and new ways to do better. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions, last comments for the? Yes.
Hi, my name is Aram. I'm a student here. Just going off of the beautification thing that you guys were talking about earlier, there's a lot of really nice spots on campus that I feel like aren't advertised, but they're already there. There's Picnic Hill, there's the Director's Garden. There's a bunch of spots that are really nice and could be enjoyed by students, but I feel like they're not properly advertised, or no one really knows about them. I feel like I only found them out because I actually went looking for them. So if we could just create signs, or maybe some programs in the residence halls or something that tell first years about it, so they kind of carry it on as they go on throughout their college process here, and sort of maybe advertise it or put it on the map, because I know the campus is kind of spread out really big, and some parts are hidden, next to Hinderaker Hall or whatever. There's really nice spots though, so I feel along with beautification, just already publicize the really nice spots that we have on campus. I don't know if you get, I don't know how that's, I don't know if I could, I guess whoever is working on beautification, if you guys want me to call out, bro.
It was-
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so it's something you'd be interested in signing up for?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't really know like the process around it, so I don't have anything to propose, but just like
Good idea is a good start.
market it. Yeah.
Any last question for the members of the public?
Not a question, but a comment, just a quick comment. The speaker that came before, she left too early, but the Senate mentorship program is still open, so if any students would like to apply and have like really good ideas, you're more than welcome to apply.
Last comment for public forum, or public comment, next.
Hi everyone, so I'm Julia, and a couple weeks ago I sent out an ASUCR like leadership awareness survey to all the members, like all the people on campus, and so I basically asked questions about how much people know about the campus, ASUCR, and statewide government, and so I'm just really, I emailed you all the results and just stressing to check it. I often hear complaints that we're not as politically active as Berkeley or UCLA, and this is where it starts, you know, creating a visible leadership that people know exactly what we do and what we stand for, and most people don't even know like who the president of ASUCR was, so I found that as a foundational problem. And so if you just review the report, it's like 12 pages long, but I used big font and pretty colors, so that's yeah, so just check your email, I emailed you the results, it's interesting, so yeah. I sent it today, so it should be there.
Yeah,
if it's
we just
not,
received it.
We just received it.
Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's just all I had to say.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, thank you again for your comment, Julia. Public comment is supposed to be reserved for any matter happen on the agenda, and public forum is supposed to be for anything the public wishes to talk about, more or less. It's
sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
Just have to clarify. But again, thank you for letting us know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Last call for a public comment on anything that happened on this agenda that the public wishes to address. Seeing none, we move on to roundtable announcements. We will start on this side, Senator Alcantara.
Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
She's mad.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the acting vice president external affairs.
I don't think you called my name on roll call. And for the folks that are in LRC, can you all please make it this Monday? I really need to get those, or I really want to get those bylaws passed or changed. Yeah, that's it.
You're present.
Oh no, like I never heard my name, I never said it.
Oscar Garcia?
Yeah.
Oscar Garcia?
Oscar
No.
Vice president, acting vice president. Yeah, actually, same as Oscar. Really looking forward to this week's LRC Act legislation. I know that I'd like to
Me too.
Yes,
I'm working on mine.
Anything else to report, vice presidents? No. That'll be it. Director. Or roundtable, no, I'm sorry.
So, like Tyler has said, we are looking for 4 more interns for our Senate internship or for our mentorship program. We already have 2 from last time's wait list, so we're looking for an additional 2. RSVP or by the board will be set up tomorrow, and so students can apply. So if you have students who, or if you have friends who are looking to get involved, they can apply to that. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to those who came out to Chick-fil-A and supported. Do that again in 2 weeks. So I look forward to that. That's it. Just looking forward to LRC as well. Thank you.
Me too.
Pass.
Oh, pass.
Pass.
Actually doing it. UCR Democrats met today, and we managed to, I know this is kind of me just bragging, our club managed to fund and I guess confirm 20 people to go with us to the San Jose State Convention, February 26th to 28th. So yeah, that's just pretty crazy seeing how we're just got established and we have 20 people that are paying and willing to go, and we help them out with something like that. Anyway, that's it. Pass.
A couple of things. Real quickly, I worked with so many different groups on campus, and I'm setting up some trainings and workshops for the mentorship program. And I just want to open invitation to anyone else wants to go. The next one is next Thursday, and it's just a tour of the art garden. It's a really great program. The other thing I want to talk about real quick, the Highlander for Sanders, they just got in contact with the Sanders campaign, and the campaign is funding a bus for 57 students to go to Vegas to canvass for Bernie. Food and transportation is taken care of on Saturday morning to Sunday night. If you want to spend your weekend in Vegas, make some positive changes for a cool person. Other than that, this weekend. Yeah. So if you're interested, just let me know. Vegas.
Looking forward to LRC on Monday.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, and tomorrow. Very much so. Oh, and tomorrow, Campus Streamer is having a fundraiser at the spot for our Military Heroes campaign. Come through if you support veterans. If you don't,
Still come through.
I'll tell you.
Okay, I just want to remind Senate that I will be meeting with capital planning, and if you'd like to come, I'm definitely going to send out an email once I get an email back from them telling me the date and time, but if you already know that you'd like to come, just please email me.
Yes.
Pass.
All right, so I didn't do my state report, so I'll do some information on what I've been doing. Just for all of you, the Embracing Art Culture Conference is going to happen. We have space, we have a budget, we have a internationally renowned keynote speaker. So what I need from all of you, members of the galley and of the horseshoe, is I need some more leaders, people to be involved with this, people to help out with any of the tasks that need to be done, logistical components all. So if any of you are interested in that, we're meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the ASUCR office. And you can also contact me via email to get more information about the conference and its objective. Thank you.
I have a question.
Thank you. Questions real quick.
I have class tomorrow at that time, but can you meet with me some other time because I'm interested in helping out with that.
I can definitely meet with you.
Thank you. Before the meeting, can I just want to remind Senator, Ozuna, Lopez, Willis, and Wilson to send the reports to the Senate Secretary. And I also would like to also do the roundtable announcement that there's apparently a stress relieving massage program for LGBT residents.
And food. And it's not until 8. And it's in Coastal Pond. And it's 8.
On that note, next on the agenda, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Senator Jackson moves to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Newcow. All in favor? 1, 2, 3. Any opposed?
No.
Any object? Seeing none, meeting adjourned at 7:06.